So buyers buy differently than they have, 12, 24 months ago. What are the most salient insights you've found in terms of the way that shift in the buying behavior that's happened from a marketing perspective? What have you seen?
I mean, I would answer this the following way. I think, and look, whether it's Forrester or Sirius or Gartner, everybody talks about the empowered customer, right? But I think what that really speaks to is that, and whatever the statistics are, some people say 2/3 of the people before they ever see a salesperson have done some type of research or not. I don't know if that's true or not. But what I do know, because I also meet with channel partners and with customers all the time, they are much more knowledgeable about our brand, our products, and who we are as a company than they've ever been before. Ever been before. And so if you accept that, you can look at it different ways. One of it is you then have to really think about customer experience at every touch point. You also have to get away from a notion that your salesperson per se can handle everything at every time, because I would suggest to you that sometimes that poor sales guy or gal is getting into a situation where the customer knows more about the company than they themselves do. Right? And so
that's an interesting, successful conundrum.
I actually really believe that. But if you buy into that premise, and you go back to what we talked about earlier, that's where and why the sales and marketing alignment and being on the same page is so important. Because it's your customers will interact with you whether you like it or not. They'll go on Google, they'll go on Bing, they'll search, they'll find out info, they'll go into their social networks. If they don't like you, they'll tweet about you, they'll do all these types of things.
If they love you, they'll tell the world. If they don't love you, they'll tell the world, right?
That's right. Yeah. And so again, is it scary at times? Sure. Is it an opportunity? Right on.
I love it.
But not only they know more about our product and offering, but information today travels very, very fast,
yes.
right? So sometimes we launch a product in one region because of the regulatory situation. We can launch it only in the US, say. But, multinational companies, they will know about it everywhere in the world. So putting us, in slightly awkward positions from time to time. So this is also a new dimension that we need to manage very carefully. Is that it's very difficult to launch a product only in one country or in one part of the world, because everybody will know about it. And so then what's your positioning? How do you, engage with the rest of the world? How do you explain to them, well, it's not approved yet in your country, all of that. So it's adding some complexity as well.
Yeah, and I guess what I take away from that is there's more transparency than ever.
Right.
Yep. Sounds funny, but you can't fake authenticity. So, the days of trying to act like you add value that's better than your competitors when you really don't are long gone. So your promotions are transparent, your service is transparent, everything about your company and your brand is transparent. So the focus really is on having a better value proposition and making sure that your brand resonates with the customers.
And you deliver on that brand proposition.
See, that's why to build on that, that's why I personally would say that, and again, not every company may agree, but I personally feel very strongly, brand and culture. Mm-hmm. Because if your brand is not authentic, your customers, never make the mistake to think that your customers are not smart. They're as smart, if not smarter, than you are in your company. And
I hate it when that happens.
The problem is it happens every day, right?
Yeah, and they'll punish you if they're not aligned.
And if you believe that you can position your brand in a certain way, but your company does not behave that way and it doesn't act that way.
But this is not new. Okay, so what I don't like is when people say, oh, today is more difficult than yesterday. I disagree totally with that. I think, what you just say on the value of the brand, it was true 20 years ago. It was true 10 years ago. It will be true in 10 years again, right? So there's also some fundamentals which are not changing. Of course, the environment is changing. But I don't really believe that competition is more difficult than before. You have the competition with your time. With the tools of your time, you need to adapt to that. And I always push back when people say, oh, today it's more difficult, it's faster, it's just different, right? But some fundamentals stay, like the value of the brand, the value of your engagement, and things like that.